Hi, my name is Delmarshae Walker. Welcome to my channel. What I want to talk about is the Will Smith Chris Rock situation. Before I really get into that, I want to kind of go back as far as myself. You know, a lot of people are saying that, oh, it was just a joke as far as what Chris Rock said. And I can understand that. And I'm not saying that he said it with malice because I don't know if he understood the situation with Jada and why she had a haircut. Because I myself, you know, I experienced this situation of having atopic dermatitis. And that is very sensitive to me because, you know, when I'm having an outbreak, my skin can change colors. It can become darker. And growing up, I had to deal with being bullied, people talking about me, people being insensitive, and that did hurt my feelings. So I can understand how that can be a sensitive situation. But at the same time, my mother always told me that a person can say whatever they want to say about you. That doesn't make it true. You never put your hands on anyone unless they put their hands on you first. And if they do put their hands on you first, that is when you hit them back, and you hit them back harder than they initially hit you. I'm not advocating violence or anything like that. I'm just saying this is what I was told growing up as a child because I was picked on, I was bullied because of something that I cannot control. I have absolutely no control over it. So being in that situation and with Jada dealing with alopecia and Chris making a joke about her, you know, being in a movie with her short hair. I don't know if he knew her situation beforehand and he was being insensitive, or he was just trying to be a comedian and just tell a joke. As far as that situation, just looking at the video itself, because some people were saying it was real, some people were saying it was fake, I have no clue. I have no clue what was going on in Will Smith's mind, Jada's mind, or Chris Rock's mind when everything took place. I just kind of want to focus on the video itself as far as what I saw. When Chris told the joke, Will initially laughed. And then he got up and he went to, you know, he got on stage and went towards Chris. Chris was standing there with his arms behind his back. So basically at this time, he, you know, from my, just looking at the video, he doesn't know what's going to happen. He doesn't know, you know, Will going to come up and hug him, say something to him or what. So he's just standing there with his arms around behind his back, and Will walks up to him and slap him. And then, you know, that catches him and everyone else off guard because they don't know, hey, if this is a joke, you know, and we're, you know, everyone's part of the joke and don't know it, what's going on. And then when he sat back down, he started yelling at Chris, you know, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And looking at that from my life and from what I know, that was a sucker punch. Why would you go up to, you know, I can understand if he yelled that from the seat first, hey, I don't appreciate that joke, keep my wife's name out your mouth. And then Chris continued on telling jokes. And then he said, okay, you know, I warned you. And then he got up on stage and gave Chris an opportunity to defend himself, whether he ran off the stage, called for assistance or what. But when someone's standing there with their arms behind their back, and then they told a joke that you initially laughed at, why would you then walk on stage and sucker punch the person? You know, that's one of the things I have a problem with. And like I said, I'm not advocating violence at any point in time. But, you know, no one wants to be sucker punched. And if you ever was sucker punched, you know how that made you feel. So just imagine how Chris is standing up there. It's like, okay, like I said, I don't know his mindset at the time. Did he know her situation, or was he just being a comedian telling a joke? True enough, everyone can't take a joke, but at the same time, he's up there telling the joke. So was he being insensitive or just being a comedian? And like I said, why would you then not say anything? You laugh at the joke, but you don't say anything. Walk up on stage with a man standing there in a defenseless mode. He's not even standing there with his hands up, you know, or anything in front of him. His hands are behind his back. and you walks up and just slap him, to me, that's not defending your wife. That's a personal issue that you have. Because a man of honor, he's going to say something to the man that's, saying something to his wife first. Hey, don't say anything about my wife. And then he's going to be willing to give the man a fade straight up. Once again, I'm not advocating violence, but, give a person a chance to say, oh, hey, I didn't know the situation. Oh, I was just trying to be funny. But just to sucker punch a person, that's not cool at all. And then at the end, when he was giving his speech, he was saying that, I don't know if he's a Christian. If he's a Christian, fine, that's great. But he mentioned God. That's the only reason I'm mentioning this part. He mentioned God and how, he's on a walk with God. That's great and everything. That's cool. And how he's trying to pull out, show love, put love out there. Once again, that's fine and cool. But if you're representing God, and I say this all the time, and I will continue to say this, make sure you're reading your Bible to get a true understanding of what God represents and what Jesus represents, which is unconditional love. Many times in the Bible, God says, pray for your enemies. Jesus said, pray for your enemies. In the Bible, Jesus says slow, there's a verse in the Bible where you're supposed to be slow to anger. Yes, Jesus was human, so that's why you see in the Bible when he's flipping the table, because he's angry. And then his reaction based on that anger. But at the same time, it's like you have to have self-control. And I feel like if you're defending anyone, even if you're defending yourself, at least say something, because sometimes people don't know that you're getting on their nerves. They don't know that they're irritating you. They don't know how you're receiving what they're saying or receiving what they're doing. So to just get up and all of a sudden slap somebody in the mouth, they're taken off guard. It's like, what did I do? But if you're pointing something out to a person and say, hey, I don't agree with your behavior. Hey, I don't like what you just said to me. And then the person is like ignoring you and keep digging at you, and then you go off the handle. That's more understandable. Like I say, I don't know their dynamic with Chris Rock, Will Smith, or Jada. I don't know what's behind the scene. I don't know their relationship with one another. I don't know if this has been going on for a while. And Will did say something to Chris, and he's like, well, the next time I see you, if you say something, I'm going to hit you. I don't know that. But just looking at the video, just going by the video itself, why not say something first? Hey, I don't appreciate what you're saying about my wife, and move on from that. But just to get up and sucker punch a person with their hands behind their back, that's not cool at all. And that's not how you act as an individual. And that's not how you act, especially in that setting. Not judging either one of them, but I'm just more or less speaking for people on the outside who might be looking at this. Because a lot of people look at movie stars, singers, and stuff like that, and then they follow their actions. So I'm more or less talking to maybe the younger people. If someone's saying something to you or doing something, don't assume they know how you feel, because 9 times out of 10, they don't. So at least be able to give them a chance to correct themselves by saying, hey, I don't appreciate what you're doing. Hey, could you please stop? Hey, this is irritating. Hey, do you know my wife has alopecia and that's why her hair is cut? It took a lot for her to come out here today, and be in this situation. So please don't make it worse by, talking about, and he might have said, oh, I didn't know, I'm sorry, I apologize. He might have said something like that, but when you're not giving a person an opportunity to correct their actions, you're just as wrong as that person who's doing what they're doing that's getting on your nerve. And like I said, I'm not advocating violence whatsoever, but just to get up and go sucker punch a person, that is not cool in any type of way, regardless of what that person said. At least give them a chance, an opportunity to correct their action. It's like you hit him first, then go back and sit down and say, hey, then tell him why you hit him. No, if you're going to hit me, at least tell me why you're going to hit me. to give me an opportunity to defend myself. You know what I'm saying? Like I said, give me a straight up fade before you just come and sucker punch me. But not advocating violence at any cost, any mean. But you know, like I said, I understand if you're a husband and you want to protect your wife, your family, you know, your kids or whoever. But at least give the person the opportunity to know the wrong they're doing, so they can be able to correct it moving forward. Or if someone else would maybe be listening to you and say, hey, I was gonna make a joke about that, but let me not, because I know it's a sensitive topic, because I didn't know what she was going through, but everyone is different. But like I said before, if you're listening to me, before you go and just go off on a person, before you just go slap a person, at least say, hey, give them opportunity to hear your side of what they're doing and how it's affecting you in a negative way, to give them an opportunity to change their behavior, change the direction they're going in. But just to get up and just sucker punch a person, they standing there in a defenseless mode with their hands behind their back, that, like I said, that's not cool. But that's all I wanted to say. I'm not Team Will. I'm not Team Chris. I don't have anything to do with these people. They're not a part of my life. But just looking at that situation, just looking at the video itself, I feel that the more teachable moment was, don't put your hands on other people unless they're putting their hands on you first. And a lot of times as Christians, we have to be the person who bite our tongues. We have to be the person that turn the other cheek. We have to be the bigger person in the situation, to say, hey, what you're doing is irritating me, but I'm just going to suck it up. And because we are human, sometimes we react with anger, sometimes we react with frustration. And, we have human emotions, and that's understandable because we're never asked by God to be perfect. But it's like we have to try to be calm in certain situations, just like Jesus. Jesus knew what people were saying about him without them even opening their mouths. But because he meditated, he prayed, he meditated, and he fasted, that allowed him to be in certain situations and not go off the handle. But like I said, even in the Bible, they showed the human part of Jesus when he went in and started flipping tables. But I hope everyone's having a great day.